President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has directed national resistance movement structures at branch, ward and village level to intensify last-mile mobilization, warning that complacency in the past elections has contributed to low voter turnout and a high number of invalid votes. In the letter dated 12 January 2026, Museveni reflects on elections held in 1996, 2001, 2006, 2011, 2016, and 2021, saying that ignorance and weak vote education among sections of the electorate have undermined participation. He says the NRM must take responsibility for changing that trend, describing the party as a beacon of hope with the capacity to address complex societal challenges through discipline and organization. Museveni tells party leaders that united effort and diligence at grassroots level will be key to securing victory. He invokes Tubaganda sayings, agali awamu ge galuma ennyama and obwato bufa magoba, to emphasize collective action. Under what he terms performance-based last-mile mobilization, the president directs that each village executive mobilization team of 63 members must mobilize and physically move with at least 4 voters each to the polling station. This translates into a total of 252 voters per village team. In highly populated urban areas such as Kampala, Wakiso and Mukono, each of the 63 members is required to mobilize at least 7 voters, bringing the target to 441 voters per team in those urban centers. Using an estimate of about 71,000 villages across the country, Museveni projects that the mobilization approach could potentially yield approximately 18,232,200 votes. He instructs all branches to immediately convene village meetings and assign clear responsibilities to each of the 63 mobilization team members, referred to as abasaguzi, to avoid what he calls okukongola. The president also orders strict documentation of mobilized voters. Exercise books have been provided to record voters who consent, including their names and phone contacts where available. He says this will help reconcile party figures with Electoral Commission numbers. According to Museveni, the records will allow the party to track performance in real time at village, parish, sub-county, municipality, district, and city level. He describes this approach as accountability-based leadership and mobilization. The directive also places emphasis on vulnerable groups. Museveni directs party executive leaders at village, branch and ward level to volunteer support for elderly voters and persons with disabilities who may face challenges reaching polling stations. He encourages youth league members to take the lead in assisting vulnerable voters and notes that persons with visual impairment are by law allowed to select a person of their choice to help them in the voting process. He urges party executives to be available where such assistance is requested. On time management, Museveni instructs all members to arrive at polling stations early, ideally by 7 a.m. at the opening of polls, to maximize turnout and streamline the voting process. The president also urges vigilance and open communication in case of security concerns or disruptions. He directs party leaders to share their contact information with security personnel deployed across the country so that any issues can be addressed promptly. On results management, Museveni orders that election results and mobilization exercise books be retrieved on the same day by each district. He directs that the results be reported directly to the NRM Electoral Commission to facilitate what he describes as a robust and accountable electoral process. In his closing remarks, Museveni calls for unity, determination and commitment, saying collective effort is required to secure a successful election outcome and reaffirm the NRM position as a party that listens and responds to the needs of the people. He ends the letter with the words, "Numbers don't lie."